Hey, whoa, 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 you there. Where did you find that? Hey, drop. Whoa, that was close. He almost got away with it. We need to get rid of this once and for all. Just go ahead and throw this in this hole, cover it up, and we will never see it again. Finally. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on the Let's Play, where we're starting over here by the bamboo farm that we built last episode. As we can see, I've done some adjustments. I have everything over here crafting into something. Now, these first three right here are just crafting into the blocks of bamboo, and we're achieving this by this very simple contraption right here, using this barrel filled precisely this full to stop this comparator from putting out a signal until it gets completely full, at which point it will shoot this observer over top of it, sending a signal which will craft the block and send it right there. Pretty simple stuff, only takes a few redstone components, not too bad. Now the thing is you couldn't really use this for everything necessarily. We're only able to use it for bamboo because despite the fact that this gets a double tick every time it goes off, bamboo can't be crafted into anything with just, a few bamboo. It takes all 9 bamboo, which is why we're able to get away with this receiving a double pulse every time it goes off. Now, if we come down here to this last one, we can see it's a little bit more complicated. We've got ourselves... Look at this, it's crafting into the blocks right here. And then right here we craft it into planks. And then it comes over here and gets crafted into sticks, which we're storing right here so that we can trade them with the villagers. Now this is using the exact same idea as this stuff right here. We're just taking advantage of a couple things. So with this right here, when this does come over and give this a signal, it makes this a signal block, which is activating this right here. So every time this is sending it over, it's coming over, crafting the block and shooting it into here. Well, on that second pulse that it's giving it, it's also giving this a second pulse. So we can see this is then crafting into the planks, which are getting shot over here and lined up, and we just have it so that same idea, when this gets full of the 2 planks right here, have a strong enough signal coming out of this comparator to bypass this system, which activates. We just have this one set up onto a clock, just on the off chance. It's not likely based on the speed of everything, but just on the off chance that this does get more than 2 planks in there, it'll have plenty of time to actually craft them with the back, like the blah. Now I know what you're thinking. Lurchy Lurch, redstone is cool and all, and it's really cool that you're able to craft 3 different items from one item, all within a 3x3 area. That's super cool, but let's get down to the really cool stuff. Bruh, you've got a big old pillar of ore. And you're right. We absolutely do have a big old pillar of ore. We need to go ahead and we need to mine all this ore. We're going to do that momentarily, kind of montage style. I'm pretty excited about it. But something else we're going to do momentarily is I've done some decorating to the house, just a little bit here and there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go over all of that, and then we're going to start popping off on today's episode. And this is the sum of most of our precious items after taking down the Pillar of Ores. The only thing that you're not going to see in here is lapis, and that's just because I keep it at the enchanting area since that's where I use it. But now that we've got the pillar out of the way, let's go ahead and take a tour of the building that we've done. So standing back a little ways, we can kind of see everything that we've done. We've started adding some detail and we started adding in some color. I really like the orange on this. Honestly, sitting back here and looking at this, I'm getting such like fall vibes, like Thanksgiving time vibes, very homely vibes. And that's kind of given me some ideas for some stuff I want to do in the immediate landscaping of this place. But let's go ahead and move in here. We can see that we've done a little more detailing to the windows. We've added some little window mini roof things. I have no clue what any of this stuff's called. But we've got the mini roofs above the windows. We've got the shutters. I know that one. Then we've got the little ledge thing under the windows. We've gone through and done a bunch of stuff with all the different windows. We did some stuff to our porch here. We added in, if we step back here a little bit again, we can see that we've added in just a touch of color from a distance. We've given it kind of like that orange undertone, which is really nice. And then you come up here, it's not just in your face orange. We went with that dark oak up there on the roof again. And that in combination with the little lighter wood of the oak pillar and the spruce trap doors, just honestly, that it's so nice. It pops out, but it's not like, I don't know, it's not crazy bad. It pops out and it blends in at the same time. I really like the way that porch balcony thing came out. Then another thing we can note from here is kind of just randomly throughout, I went and added some exterior lights, very simple designs, just trapdoor, fence, and lantern. I did spend some of our iron on lanterns. I know. Then we redid this, and one thing that I kind of want to note, you're going to see it a couple times, is I'm really digging using these pots as like a base for this pillar here. The fence just goes in there perfectly, and it just, I don't know, I feel like it looks really good in the right circumstances, right situations. So you see we've kind of done that there. We redid our back entrance right here. I feel like it's nice, it's quaint. It's obviously not the main entrance, but we used the pots right here. Like, really, I can't get over those. I really like that. I'm probably gonna end up using that a bit more. And we haven't done anything up there yet. I'm not gonna lie. I just realized that we didn't do anything up there. But another major change that we did is right here to this front porch. We added in as much detail as we could in this area without overloading it, and I think it came out awesome. Using the pots again here to once again give us a nice touch of color from underneath, but not an overbearing amount. And honestly, I believe, oh no, that's not it. We did a little work on the inside here. We can see if we come up here, we kind of did some work on the tower area. We moved our enchanting area and we went ahead and we moved it right up here. And honestly, it fits in pretty quaintly, pretty snug, but it does fit. So right here is where, like I said, we're keeping all of our lapis, and I just keep this in here to roll enchantments. Changed it so that it's not stairs all the way up. We do have to take the ladder up here, but we can go ahead and pop up here. We can see that we kind of just finished off the tower bit here. We finished the details so that we can actually walk up and see out and over stuff. We added in a nice roof, and I really like that we used these trap doors here, because both from up close and afar, you get that orange, but it's not like we use slab where it's just bam, there's a whole bunch of orange. We're still getting that dark oak coloring from behind, and so it kind of helps just tone the orange down a little bit. But I do believe that is just about everything that I've done building wise to the house. I didn't want to go crazy without you guys, but I did get a little bit of an itch to start doing some stuff. Speaking of doing stuff, we are going to do some stuff. Today, we are going to do a couple things. We're going to start by getting an iron farm going. I find myself, holy villagers. Oh, sorry, we're having a little bit of a squirrel moment, but holy cow. Oh, I think it might be about time we shut the villager off here pretty soon. But we need to get an iron farm going. I find myself needing iron for just anything that I want to do. Any more of these farms that I want to do, I need iron. Any like major trading currently, I need iron. I want to, like I said, I want to do the stick thing. I'm a little dedicated to it. So we're going to figure out something with the bamboo. But again, iron. So I'm going to go ahead and gather up some stuff that we need for an iron farm. And actually, I think I'm going to take to the YouTubes and kind of go look at other people's designs. I've built a million iron farms and I want to see what other people are doing. I didn't find anything that I liked, unfortunately. So we're just going to make our own. Now, I am going to take a page out of quite a few other people's books. Normally, and if you've seen any of my other series, you can testify to this. Normally, when I do an iron farm, it's up in the air. And this time round, as we can tell, they're going to be down here on the ground. And I'll kind of explain what's going to be happening here. So each one of these sections here is technically going to be its own little iron farm. We're going to have 4 iron farms right here. And what we're going to do is in this area right here, we'll have our 3 beds with our 3 villagers. And in this square, we're going to have a zombie. Now, we're going to have to set up some redstone so that the zombie goes in and out of view distance every now and again for the villagers. Because one of the key things for this to actually work is the villagers need to be able to sleep every so often. I don't remember the exact interval. But every so often the villagers actually have to be able to sleep. And so what we're going to do is just lower the zombie just enough so that it can't see the villagers can't see it, and they try to sleep. So with all that in mind, I think how we're going to do this is I'm going to try and figure out where and how we're going to do the redstone for the zombie bit. And once I figure that out, we'll kind of go over it and then we'll get it installed in all 4 and go from there. We've got it working. We just went with the burnout clock. They're pretty simple. If we come down here, we can see that we have our piston sitting on top of this torch. Every time the torch lights up, it sends out a signal that we've delayed with these repeaters. It comes back in, and once it hits this block, it turns the torch off, which just starts the cycle all over again. Nice part about this is, honestly, they're relatively cheap. I mean, all in all, this isn't bad for a decent little clock. And they're pretty easy to turn on and off. Just, boom, go like that. Clock's not running anymore. So we will end up having to hook up all of these to an on-off switch. I'm actually pretty excited about that. That's going to be, I've got a few interesting ways that I want to do this. But for now, what we're going to do is go around and get all of these modules put into each of these different iron farms. So I went a little further than I said, but not really by much. So I've got each of the cells all built up to where they need to be. We still need to get the villagers and the beds in here. But we did get the zombies for each of them, and as we can see, I didn't have any name tags, so I just got ones that could hold on to something. I guess next we do need to get the villagers into place, but before we actually do that, I want to get the on-off switch for this into place. So what I was thinking is we'll come to the center right here, and we're just going to have it be a push button to activate. So we'll put that right there, and then we are going to have to move this torch around. Let's actually go like that. Okay, and then, oh, hold on, sorry, gonna get a little dark for a second. Okay, so then we'll come down like this. Maybe. There we go. Down like this into a note block. Oh, I am running out of room. Into a note block, which we then will observe coming off either direction. And what we're going to do is we're just going to send the signal all the way down to each one of the 4 different quadrants. And then right here at the end, what we're going to do is we'll actually set this one up. We're going to take a repeater and put that right there to stop it for now. But we need to clear out a little room to work here. Okay. So we've got that there, which means this needs to go a block back with an observer right behind it. And this is what we will actually use to detect when we want to turn it on and off. Every time we push the button, it'll send the signal all the way down. This observer will go off and either retract the redstone block, which will turn the farm on, or push it forward, which will turn it off. Okay, we now have that all set up and done. If we just click on this button right here, we can see that they'll start going up and down like so. If we come back, oh, I need to eat, and we click it again, we can see they stop going up and down. Bada boom, on and off switch. Sweet deal, that's pretty good. So next thing we need to do is get the villagers into place. I have a feeling that this is going to cost me the majority of the rest of the iron, but luckily we are building an iron farm, so it should all work out in the end. Now that we've got all these pesky villagers into their cells, I think the next step for us is going to be getting collection set up. So what I'm thinking is so each one of these cells will spawn a golem on top that will push over and will kill right here. Then what I'm thinking is that from here we'll just shoot all the drops into a central little beam, channel way, whatever you want to call it here, and then we'll collect everything centrally in this area. Now if you'll take note of all this grass right here, this is where it is okay for us to build our collection and whatnot and not affect the iron farms themselves. This right here is the 8 blocks either direction that villagers can spawn the iron golems within. So we should be fine to, like I said, build on here. So I'll go ahead and I'll get all the hoppers into place and all the auto shooting systems and waterways and whatnot. Up to, we'll probably just set up some regular collection at this moment. Probably just do some chests and hoppers. But eventually what we're going to do is set it up so that all this auto crafts all this iron straight into blocks. And now that we have collection in place, all that's really left is finishing up these cells right here, which isn't going to be very hard. We'll take some walls and we'll wall this whole thing off all the way around. We'll get some water up there. We'll get a lava knife right here that will actually kill the golems. And once we get all that into place on each one of them, this thing's ready to go. At that point, we'll take this dirt out, which will expose the villagers to the zombie. We need to remember, once we remove these, I've left one piece of glass off of each one. We'll just need to make sure to put that back on. That just make sure that no baby zombies or anything can get in there and mess things up. So I'll go ahead and I guess get this thing up and running. We'll get the walls in, get the finishing parts of this all in, and then we'll be in full production of iron, which is so exciting. Ah, yes, free iron. And some free flippy trapdoors too. That is going to be one downside to how we decided to cover those water paths. But that is a-okay. We now have iron in production. Oh man, I'm so excited. This is going to help so much. So much. So I've been sat over here since we finished the farm, just kind of hanging out, honestly, getting ready to do all the auto crafting and whatnot. And I have just had the craziest idea ever, and I'm so excited to get working on it. But I kind of want to just see if I can get what I have in mind built up and show you guys. So I'm gonna go try and do some redstone real quick. That took so much longer than I thought it would, but it is done, and exactly what I had in mind is what came to be, and I absolutely love it. I think it looks awesome. Admittedly, it might look a little too awesome. It looks really good, and looking at it, I really enjoy it. But if you step back and you see it next to the bamboo farm or next to the nothing else, it kind of sticks out. But that is something we will change. For now, I think it looks really good. It also works really good. So we get about just shy of a stack and a half of blocks an hour. this should show you just how long it took me to do what we did. It took it took me a few hours. It took me a good few hours, but like I said, just shy of a stack and a half. I want to say it was like a stack and 27 of the blocks of iron. So not too shabby at all. But if we go ahead and turn around here, boom, 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 boom. Look at that, our little power generator. It's what I was going for anyway. I know right now, like I said, it kind of sticks out, especially when we look at this sore thumb right here. It sticks out, but I do think it looks really good. We'll get up close in just a moment. I just kind of wanted to look at it from a distance, and man, I really do like the way that it turned out. Now, what I was kind of thinking as we were building this up is, what if this was like the power station, the powerhouse for this whole starter area? So I think that aesthetically, this is going to be awesome. This will help us get into a couple of different styles that I've been wanting to try out. And what's really going to be fun is tying all of that kind of stuff in with all of this kind of stuff, because I want to do a couple more houses in this style, and I want to do a bunch of buildings in not necessarily that style, but you know, along those lines ish. And you know, as we're kind of approaching this thing, something I kind of wanted to talk about and point out is, if we kind of stand back here, it looks awesome, right? Like, I'm really happy with it. It looks like a good cohesive build. Now that in my mind that I've put out there that it is like a power generator, that's, you know, that's kind of what I'm seeing. It's the power generator with the power output or lightning rod, or I don't know, something on top right there. From right here, there is no way in my mind and in my opinion you would be able to tell that we only used 3 different kinds of blocks on that. That's right. This whole thing right here is constructed with 3 different, I guess technically 5 different kinds of blocks, but I'll show you what I mean. As we're kind of approaching right here, running past this eyesore that we're going to fix. I might expand it off camera because we've got this in place. I might stack up a couple more, I don't know. No, we're getting distracted. But as we come up here, we can see as we're getting closer. Oh yeah, really though, he did only use the main 3 different kinds of blocks. Now, the reason I say 5 is because the foundation is made out of technically 2 different kinds of blocks. But the majority of this is built up of the deep slate brick and diorite walls. It's walls all the way around except for the foundation. And I feel like it came out really good. I am really, really happy with it. I kind of want to sit in here and we can watch why we did it this way. Oh yeah, seeing all these different things coming through here, coming down, shooting down into the middle. We have a little bit of lossage right now. That's something that'll be easily fixed with just some powder snow right there at the outlet. But let's go ahead and throw these in here. The big thing, the big feat, the thing that really got me excited was having the ability to turn our farm off with this note block still, but just this, be able to drop everything on top of it and have it go through the system, and eventually leads to these blocks of iron right here. The trickery, if we come down here to our basement, all comes from the tube right here. So, I'm a little stuck. We have our note block with 2 observers underneath it leading into another note block. And what we've done is just put minecarts inside of each of those blocks. And I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to stack them up. We can kind of see a couple of them. But you can. And for me, I didn't know that. I've got a few ideas of how I want to use it now. But the trick with being able to do so is you've just got to layer them all in. So we have the note block, observer, note block. So we placed the note block, put the minecart in it, encased it, and then we placed the next observer, put the minecart in it, and rinse and repeat as far as you want, as far as I can tell. But being able to do that, like I said, didn't know, learned something today. That's pretty exciting. We come down here, we can see really this system isn't complicated at all. We just have it coming down to a couple of filter systems that we sort out the iron and the iron blocks. Everything else just gets destroyed. I didn't really feel like saving and composting the poppies. we're going to make a flower farm, so we'll get all the poppies that we need for decoration and for dye. And really, the bone meal is so just, there's not enough of it for me to justify putting in a whole nother redstone system. But so what, like I said, we've got this one right here. This filter system sorts out the blocks. So we can see right there is where it all comes down, comes into here. First thing it's going to do is pull out any blocks that are in the system. That'll then put it into this system, which shoots it into a water stream, which has another auto dispensing system on the other side that shoots it up to that glass tube over on that side. Then the two tubes on the right and left side come straight from the iron farms. As we saw, they have the ingots and the poppies in them. And what we do is, as they come through, we'll pull out all of the ingots right here and we put it into the auto crafting system that'll make the blocks. And another thing that I learned is I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to auto craft into one of these glass elevators or if we were going to have to use a dropper. Nope, you can use the auto crafter. It'll do the exact same thing. So that's pretty nice. That also gives me a couple of ideas. So yeah, the blocks come up on this closest side and they'll come back through, and that's why we have this system right here. It was one, so we could use all 4 of the tubes for something, but also just to pull out the blocks after they've been crafted and drop back down into the middle. And now that we have this power generator that is almost as powerful as I am, we're going to be able to just launch in and start doing stuff. We're going to be able to start trading this iron, getting some emeralds, building more redstone contraptions, all sorts of stuff. Honestly, getting this iron farm in, huge deal, big deal. But I do think with all this said and done that we're going to end the episode for today. I hope you had a lot of fun. I sure did. And yeah, I guess we'll see you guys next time.